Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I hope you're all doing well. Ragazzi, I am in Roma, Fiumicino, waiting for my other plane, and you know what happened? I met Mattias Soulé. Before starting, because of course we will speak about Juve, about youth, about the words of Comolli, about some mercato, but before speaking about that, ragazzi, tell me if you hear me well. I hope so. I'm trying with the external microphone, so you should, but in an airplane with so many voices, so many people are traveling around, not always the audio is super clear. So let me know what you think about the audio, so that at least I know for the next times. Anyway, you know who I met? I met Mattias Soulé at the airport here. He was waiting for his plane to go to Madrid, probably a few days of holiday. I can tell you it was extremely strange, really strange, because I met a lot of players from our team. I met a lot of ex-players from our team that made the story of Juve. But meeting a player that was ours and is not anymore, and he's at the moment at +5 in the ranking of Serie A because he's first with Roma over Juve. Well, it's strange. It was really strange. The funny thing is that I recognized him when I was extremely close to him. He's watching me and he's saying, Ciao Beppe, or Hey Beppe. The words were Hey Beppe. So he remembered me because I was one of his first tifoso, one of his first supporters, because I supported him since he arrived from Argentina to play with our youth academy, way long before he was with the next gen. So we wrote a lot of time when he was wearing the number 46 with the under 19, when he scored his first goal. So we know each other a bit, and it was a bit strange because he's a Roma player. So we spoke a bit about Roma, spoke about Juve, we spoke about the moment, what I was doing, what he was doing. 5-10 minutes together was nice, but it was really strange. So we took a picture together. I didn't ask him for a video, I didn't ask him anyway, because he's not our player anymore. Did we make a mistake in selling him? You know, for me, that watched him starting to walk, then starting to run, then starting to kick a ball, scoring his first goal with the youth and with the first team, following him at Frosinone, emotionally, yes, I will always tell you, yes, emotionally. I would love that these players that we see growing, that they stay with us fino alla fine. On the other side, at that particular moment, you cash in. The problem is that who you are subbing Soulé with, that's always the problem. Nico Gonzalez that didn't do well at Juve. Ragazzi, that's the problem. But anyway, was nice to meet him. Speaking about youth and trying not to make the same mistake, who scored yesterday? Vasilije Adzic. Beautiful goal, another free kick with Montenegro. They won 2-1. Well, the guy has talent. It's also a player that I started to try to find some videos when he was still in Montenegro. Starting also to discuss with him, to speak with him, to know him. You know that I have a special connection with him. I'm not saying it because I'm a fan of the person or because we are good friends. Good friends, it's a big word, eh? But because I have a special emotion with him. But I'm telling you, this guy has a talent. And let's not make the same mistake because I start already to read. We are looking in January to send him on loan. No, believe in the guy. Believe in the kid. He has really talent, he just needs minutes. Will Spalletti be able to give him to him? Important. A third youngster that I want to speak about, because if we are speaking about one that's definitely gone, Soulé, one that is still at our club, Adzic, we need to speak about one that could possibly come back, and we are speaking about Muharemovic, that is growing in an incredible way. In Serie B with Sassuolo, and now in Serie A with Sassuolo collecting all the MVP trophies that are possible. Beautiful to see the growth that he has. It's a player that we sold, I believe, for 3 million, something like that. We have a 50% on the resale, which is important because now the value is around 20 million euro. It's a player that could potentially come back. I'm not speaking about the winter, even if Juventus could possibly try, but we are speaking about next summer, even if a lot of clubs like Inter are on the player. If we want him, we need to go fast, and we have that advantage that if a club is offering 20 million euro, we can offer 11 million because we have 50% of the resale, and we offer still more than the other one. So let's try to do something like that because it's a guy that knows Juve, and the beautiful thing is we know him. He has been also captain from our youth academy, from the next gen, player with talent, and that was the words about the youngsters. One that I'm not missing is Calafiori. Calafiori is leaving the Ritiro from the Nazionale. He will not play against Norway. He's always injured. Mamma mia. So on that one, I have absolutely no regrets. And then we go towards Comolli. I saw a lot of controversy already about the new CEO of Juve, about his words today. Of course, I understand that when you are reading parts of the interview without the context, you could be totally surprised, you could be scared about these words. First of all, the context. He spoke to the huddle performance insight, so they were speaking about data. If you see the presentation of Damien Comolli, you will see that he didn't speak a lot about data. He spoke only once in that meeting with the journalist about data. But now, of course, he was pushing a bit more about that. But he went through a lot of topics, like, for example, speaking about the fact that every coach that he meets, well, the coaches are always saying everything is good, I will be able to solve this, this is okay, and then when the things are going bad, they start to complain, yeah, but this was bad, this was bad, this is bad, this I don't agree with. Where Comolli says, from now on, what I'm doing is I will always put what they are saying about the good things and what they will be able to do, I always put them in the contract. Controversial? Maybe yes. On the other side, it's not a bad thing to me. I will just sit down a bit so that I can continue to read while I'm recording, and then maybe you can see a plane behind me if there are. Then he said, we work this way. When with coaches, he explained what are our methodology about training sessions, about the way that they work with physiotherapist, with, for example, Darren Burgess. Just joined, you remember the words of Igor Tudor that was quite cold when Darren Burgess was announced. Well, these are things that he's already announcing to new coaches. And then he's saying, look, or it's our way or it's no way. And then we shake hands, best friends, and we continue to see otherwise. Of course, he's expecting things from the coach as well, but there are some basics that he wants to keep, which is totally normal. The next steps in data, I spoke about the youth, trying to understand who will be the next breakout youth, so actually that we don't miss players, that we don't fail in terms of potential, like for example Bayern Munich with Yildiz. They didn't really understand the potential, the full potential. I had the opportunity to speak with Hasan Salihamidzic that said the growth of Yildiz in the last 2 years is incredible. What a player. When he was at Bayern, he was not that strong. We couldn't imagine that he would have become that strong. Well, to avoid these kind of things, well, data in the future, if you are able to really monitor and to understand the potential of these kind of kids would be great, but also the connections between players. From the moment one day in the future that you will be able to understand, thanks to data, through data, which players are able to play with which players, you will solve a lot of things, and football can forever change in terms of how the teams are looking, how you go on the mercato, but we are still far from that. He also says, I never read about football, which is, I believe, a really smart thing. So when I started YouTube, for example, speaking about myself, I watched a few YouTube channels about football, what I loved, what I didn't like, what I wanted my channel to become. But then I took a lot of inspiration about non-Juve channel, non-football channels, to actually understand better what I wanted, what I liked, what I didn't like, what could possibly work or not. So I think it's always interesting to go towards other topics, other sources of informations, to actually become complete, because if you're always staying in your own bubble, well, that's the moment where you turn around. So that was also, to me, really important. He spoke about what is the DNA of Juve, saying that between a lot of players, he asked, for example, Trezeguet, Matuidi, what is the DNA of Juve? Where they all answer, the DNA of Juve is winning. Where he says, yeah, it's correct, but it's DNA, and what about the culture? Culture is something else. Culture needs to come from below, from the players, from the culture, from the organization, for the people that are working for the club. What is the culture? 30% of his time he's spending it in understanding and implementing culture. And he's also saying about culture. Culture are the values of the club. So important words about that. What else did he say? Let me check that I don't forget anything. Important, super important. He said, if Juventus knew what I would implement when they hired me, otherwise they would not have signed me, and otherwise probably I would not have joined Juve. But what is important is that if you do the same as previously, something is wrong. I've read so many times in the comment section, I've read so many times in the live session that we had, that famous quote, if you're repeating always the same thing, I don't know what that quote, that every day people were telling me, asking for changes. I think these were referred, these quotes, to Allegri, to Thiago Motta when we were, you remember. Well, he's saying that if you're doing the same as previously, well, something is wrong. Something will not change. So I mean, you were asking for it. Comolli is serving it on a plate. Juventus will change, absolutely. This is the feeling that I had, that I already shared with you. So I was really happy to read that words. If you are people that are asking, Beppe, what are you doing? Where are you going? I'm going to first Firenze, then with a car to Pistoia, where we have an event with the Juventus official fan clubs with the region of Toscana. So I can't wait to be there to meet the Juventini of the world, this time from Italy. If last week it was Miami, now it's from Italy, to speak with them, to share a bit of Juventus. If you enjoyed that video, don't forget to put a maximum of like, continue to subscribe. Grazie, forza, Juve. Ciao.